You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Wednesday the 23rd of July 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And all I can say is so near yet so far. So I was kind of hoping I would get Empress of the Trees, this draft of it, signed off today. I'm not far off. I am almost there. This evening I went to, so my local bookshop has a writing group and they have 2 sessions per month. The first one is very, very structured. It's all about, there's writing exercises and you just chat and, bits and pieces. So they'll give you like a prompt and you have to try and write something with it. And then the second session, which was one that was tonight, is just an informal, you can turn up, you can do a bit of writing, you can have a chat. My plan was to turn up and do a bit of writing. I was going to continue signing off Empress, and in the end, we just all ended up nattering. So it was great, but I didn't get quite what I was hoping to get done, but that's fine. So I am on about page 512, I think, of the 673 page book. And in theory, I can get it signed off tomorrow, but I'm actually out most of tomorrow. I'm catching up with a friend. We're going to see Alice in Wonderland in Kew Gardens. Hopefully the weather will hold out. I've had a look. It might rain, but I shall take an umbrella. But yeah, so it's a bit, yeah, I'm not frustrated. I've really enjoyed the meeting, absolutely. So it's not that I'm frustrated because I didn't get it done. I spent most of the day on it. I didn't want to rush it. What's really lovely is it's literally just tidying up little things. I've hardly made any changes to this version, so it is pretty much, I can't see that after this is done, I will need to look at it again before it goes off to my beta readers. But my what have I discovered today? I discovered that I spelt Yacunda, which is a word I made up for the people that, well, it's not, it's based on the Latin word basically, but it's a word that represents the people that are going to be saved from Ragnarok, people of good character, nice people basically. But I noticed on a couple of occasions, instead of typing Yacunda, I'd written Iancunda, Iancunda. So obviously I had to change those. And then I realised I'd spelt Yacunda differently, IAC and IUC. And recently I've been spelling it IAC. So I went back to the original Latin word and it turns out it's actually IUC. So sorted all that out, changed that. There was a timescale thing which didn't make sense. So if the leader of the Ragnarok faction has gone missing, it must have been recently, and yet there was a bit that suggested it was months ago, so I changed the months to weeks. Tiny little things. And mainly, there's some weird punctuation. So it's not that the punctuation's wrong, it's that my word processor has done something weird. So most of the punctuation, like for example inverted commas, they curl one way if they're at the beginning of a sentence, at the start of the quote, and also quote marks. So they curl one way if they're at the start of the quote, and they curl another way at the end. And just on a handful of occasions, they're straight, so they're not curled either way. So like if I've spotted that, I've changed it. Same with apostrophes. Apostrophes should curve, and there's just a handful that don't. So it's just weird stuff that, frankly, people aren't even going to notice. But I'm very, very pleased. I've hardly changed anything at all. So that's really good. So, yeah, so tomorrow I won't be writing. I'm sort of tempted because I've also worked out that I need to do, so I've got this weird thing with these podcasts in that I want to do 300 this year. Now I'm on track to do it at the moment. So basically what it means is I need to do 26 a month for the first 11 months, which gets me to 286 by the end of November, which means I only have to do 14 in December, which is kind of feels about right because I want to take half of December off for Christmas. I'll stick out a few bonus episodes and maybe some, readings and bits and pieces. But basically, it's a chance to have a couple of weeks off with guilt-free, as it were. And so I think I worked out I have to hit 184 by the end of this month. And if I do one every day this month, I will actually hit 186. And I don't want to get too far ahead. So I'm going to take tomorrow off. And I will come back on... What day are we now? I will come back on Friday. So I'll have Thursday off and I will come back on Friday. Hopefully, I will be able to report that I have signed off the second draft of Empress of the Trees by then. That would be absolutely amazing if I have. The other interesting thing, 2 months ago? No, 6 weeks ago, I gave the guy who runs the writing club a copy of my book, and he said he'd have a look at it. And he's read the first chapter, and he's clearly read that very recently. So, yes. So people wanting to know a little bit more about it from how he explained what happened in the first chapter. And I think he assumed that most of it was going to be set in that year, and it's not. So he read the first bit of Still Life, and I think he assumed that the whole book was going to be set in 1915. Yeah, it's not. It goes back to there a couple of times. So I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted a bit more feedback. He said he liked the first chapter, but and I like the first chapter. It's good, but yeah, Molly's gone missing is all he knows, and he doesn't even know that the next chapter is set 100 years later. But never mind. Anyway, that's me for today. Tomorrow off, and I will talk to you on Friday. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.